Let's get on with it. Welcome back, humans. It's Saturday, and I'm back with another vent session. And got a little package in the mail today. I'm a little excited.
Heck yeah. Let's see what you got.
And I got my wife in the studio today, and she's hanging out with me for a little bit.
Hello.
She'll
Hi.
be here for just a little bit, I think. I mean, for a nice little chunk of the segment till I set her free.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm held captive.
Yeah, so I was on the Under Armour website, and I was checking out some of those masks because right now they're all required in a lot of places, especially where I work and probably where you work and everywhere.
Oh, of course. Yep.
So I'm excited because they arrived, and I'm just gonna open them on here and give my little review on these little boxes here.
Yeah, let's see what came in the mail.
Got my little. Let me open it up.
Surprise.
Block the address stuff. You know how it goes.
Stalkers.
Man, the weather flipped real fast this over here.
I'm not ready for this.
Really fast. You know what I thought was crazy while I'm opening this? That garbage placement on that garbage can today. So we went and got some fast food. We went to Shea Whitey's White Castles.
Gut bombs.
Yeah, so we went to White Castles, and right when you get your food, like right when you pick up the food after you go to the second window and you pick up your food, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really odd. I even brought it up to you. Where they placed that one garbage can. It's like 10 feet away from where you get your food. It's like, are you supposed to pay for your food and not eat White Castle? Is this some rule I don't know about? And
You
just,
buy
throw
it
it
and then
away?
you throw it away right away.
Right.
You drive off
It's
without
like
your food.
you're going to eat your food in that
It's
little...
like horrible placement.
It's like right in that 10-foot span. You know that
Yeah.
garbage can is always empty. Unless it's just like people's car
Like, what are you
car
going to
garbage.
throw away? You just got your food. And
Or maybe you
then you
stop there for
leave.
like your car garbage and you throw all that in there.
yeah, but you got people behind you wanting to leave. Like, terrible, terrible placement.
Yeah, so I thought it was horrible.
Yeah, that was
It was
odd.
weird.
Mm-hmm.
It had me thinking that was kind of weird.
The thought behind that. What was the process, you know?
I know. Like I said, it's probably the largest, the lightest garbage can when it's time to take their garbage out.
Right.
Okay,
They're
so
like, yeah, I'll do it. Ooh.
got
what do
them
we have?
individually packaged.
Oh.
Nice. Let me set this box over
Those
here.
two things came in that big box. What
Yeah.
a waste.
You know,
Oh
we're
my
not here.
gosh.
We're not here for that. No,
Why
I'm just
couldn't they
kidding.
just put it in like a big manila envelope?
So they come in these little packets like this.
Oh, Under Armour.
Kind of look like undies. No, little undie packs or something.
Little.
Let's see what we got. Let's see where this thing opens.
Did I get
Do I gotta tear it?
anything from moi?
Do I gotta tear it? Oh, there we go. Here we go. If I had a drum roll, I would do the drum roll. Oh, there it is.
There you
it
go.
is. The face mask.
Oh my gosh.
Not bad, not bad. Looks a little flexible. Looks pretty thick.
Put it on.
I don't know if I want to put it on right now. Maybe I should clean it first. Maybe I should wash it first.
Is it spongy or something? Oh, okay. Looks thick.
Yeah, it is. I think it's supposed to be like level 3 or something like that.
All right. Well, cool.
I'm glad you're thrilled.
Yay. I'm not. I want to get rid of these stupid things.
I thought you were going to be like screaming and like cheering.
Why? I hate
backflipping.
wearing them.
No,
Oh.
I do too. I'm sick of it. But we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we write the rule books.
See.
So anyways,
Oh, yeah.
when you watch like TV and say there's like nothing on TV, what was your what would be like a movie that you would watch even though you've seen it a million times? Like if there was nothing on, every time this movie's on, you're probably going to watch it. What would be your go-to movie for that?
There's quite a few. I mean, like, Steel Magnolias.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Just like Wedding Singer, Wedding Crashers, like just funny ones that still make you laugh even though they're dumb and you already know what's going to happen.
So no like dramas, like if there was like a drama on,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
like would you watch a certain drama like no matter what, or Misery's on, you're going to watch Misery every time
Yeah.
it's on, or
Well, maybe not every time, but probably majority of the time.
All right. All right.
What about you?
Mine would probably be a lot of the comedies. It probably wouldn't be just one movie in particular because I love comedies,
Mm-hmm.
or like the suspense films or the the action films, like when the Mission Possibles are on.
Yeah.
or like the Signs movie. I really like that film, or
Mhm.
all those cool sci-fi films. The Avenger films
Right on.
and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I guess I got a bunch for me that I could probably watch over and over. But I would say mostly the comedy genres because like I don't know. I think like a lot of Adam Sandler movies are funny,
Uh huh.
and I also like what was that one? The internship movie. I thought that was a really funny one.
Yeah, that's
Where
pretty
them guys
good.
got a job at Google and shit. Thought it was
Yeah.
funny. I like the first Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, that one's pretty fun.
That's hilarious. The sequel sucked. I don't care what none of y'all say.
Man, sequels usually do suck.
Yeah, some
Just
movies
leave
did
it.
pretty good
Just
sequels.
leave it.
Some movies did do good
Some.
sequels though.
Mhm.
Like the John Wicks were good.
Yeah.
The Harry Potters.
Yeah. I mean, like that's a long story.
Or like
So
a
you gotta break it
series.
down. Yeah.
I guess you can. I mean, I guess there is. Is there a difference between a series and a sequel? I guess there would be, right?
Yeah. I guess sequel would be like another story about it.
Like the movie series. Like the Avengers. It wasn't just one film,
Mhm.
so that would be considered a series of
Great
films.
question.
Yeah, so I was wondering like that. That's weird. I was thinking just that just now it hit me like what was is the difference?
Interesting.
All right, so I'm excited about the fight tonight. It's Terrence Crawford versus Kell Brook, and it's going to be on ESPN tonight. And Kell Brook hasn't fought in a while. He had a really good career for a little bit. He's got like a British accent or maybe English accent.
Really?
I don't know which one is which.
Okay, I've never heard of really these guys. I don't really know
Oh.
these guys.
Well, Terrence Crawford's a really good fighter. He fights like he can switch to like left and right-handed, and he's a real good power puncher and good style, like a technical bot. He's kind of got an all-round game.
Mhm.
And a lot of people say like they wanted him and Pacquiao to fight a long time ago, but they said they were ducking each other
So
or
this lightweight class, like
middleweight. I think they're in
Middleweight.
like the 140 range around there,
that's middleweight. Damn,
something like
that
that.
seems light.
Yep,
you know.
I think it's something around there,
Okay, go ahead.
a welter or middle or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
But anyways, Terrence Crawford's really good, and he, like I said, he's a switch stance fighter. He can fight left-handed, right-handed, and Kell Brook is a really good fighter in his own right. He had a killer career,
Mhm.
and then he had some big losses. He suffered some like big losses at the end. He fought like Errol Spence Jr., who's about to fight Danny Garcia coming up,
Okay.
and that's going to be a good ass fight too. Actually, I'm excited about that one too. And
Are these guys old?
no, they're all like in their like primes right now. These are
Oh.
like some young guys, all like, well, they're in their prime, so they're like around 30 or close to 30 maybe.
Mm.
Some of them, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
Teofimo, who we watched last time, he's young. He's in his 20s.
Okay.
Teofimo Lopez, who just beat Lomachenko.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Kell Brook had a really good career, and he had some big losses to Errol Spence Jr. and Gennady Golovkin.
Okay.
He's the one I told you he's from where Borat's from, and he even talks like him. It's kind of funny. It was when he
Oh my
first came to the
gosh.
scene, I didn't
What's
think
the
it was
name
real.
of the town?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Yeah.
And so this guy came on HBO when I first started watching
That's
him.
funny. Mhm.
It was like I first started watching him, and so I'm like, man, he's knocking people out. And he's, they go to the interviews. Then he opens his mouth, and it's straight up, just like Borat. Like that Sacha Baron Cohen guy did his homework
He
because
nailed it.
he was like Max Kellerman was interviewing him in the ring. He's like, I'm the greatest. Nobody can beat me. Nobody hurts me.
Hits my sister.
And he was talking just like him, dude. I was
Oh my
laughing so
gosh.
hard, and I was entertained by the knockout. So
Uh-huh.
he really beat up Kell Brook pretty bad. Those guys, but in the fight, he was holding his own for a little bit,
Mhm.
and then Gennady Golovkin just got some crazy power. They call him Triple G
Triple G.
because his name is like super long. I don't know it all, but I know I think it's Gennady Golovkin, but there's another name in the
Oh
middle.
my gosh. Wow. That sounds
And he's from Kazakhstan,
hard to pronounce.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
But he's not fighting tonight. Kell Brook is.
Kell Brook, yeah.
And we'll see what happens. He's a little bit bigger than Terrence Crawford, but
Mhm.
he is older than Terrence Crawford. Like I said, and he hasn't fought in a while. So we'll see what happens in that fight.
All right. Well,
I'm
who you
excited
rooting
about it, though.
for?
I'm excited I think I would want Terrence Crawford to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he's trying to get some more, like, bigger names on his resume. And like I said, a lot of these fighters that are coming up, a lot of them don't have they got a lot of numbers in their victories, but they don't have a big name in their resume.
Okay.
And whether they're young or old, the names do count. They matter.
Right. All right.
Like if you want to become a Hall of Famer, and you're not in it just for like the money. A lot of guys are in it for money and legacy. So a lot of times in their legacy, if there's just a bunch of bums, you don't get like all times. Or you don't make the all timers list.
Okay.
And people are more respected if you got like a famous big name on your resume,
Right.
or like a handful of them.
For sure.
Because like I said, a lot of these promoters protect guys right now, and they're fighting less, and it's harder to get the big fights together. That's why I was happy about that Lomachenko Lopez fight, because it happened right at the right time before Lomachenko got too old and Lopez was in his prime, and that was awesome. That was awesome for boxing, like I said. And this one's going to be a good fight, regardless of the age difference.
Right. Heck yeah. We'll see.
The weigh-in was yesterday. They both made weight, and it was good.
Oh, that's good.
So like I noticed, I always watch and pay attention when I watch weigh-ins and fights,
Mm-hmm.
because
What are you looking for?
the dehydration factor.
Ah.
So if you look just like skinny like everybody else does, and you can see the muscles, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you do that or you come in with that McGregor face, like sometimes McGregor will look like a really old man.
Old, yeah, I know.
Like
I remember.
drained, like it's like synced in. He's like,
Right.
"Ah," and he even has time to flex. And like,
yeah.
it's crazy what some
Yeah.
people do to get weight.
It's probably some
Um,
insane tactics. What would I've heard of some crazy things
Yeah.
that people do.
Some of these guys
to,
do
to
over
drop
20
weight
pounds.
real quick.
Some of these guys will overdo over 20 pounds.
In like a day. It's insane. It's crazy.
So I noticed on Kell Brook,
Mhm.
he looked a little extra dehydrated in the body area. Like, there was a little. I seen not only seen definition, I saw like rib,
Yeah.
rib stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Terrence
Like
Crawford,
rib muscle, because you do have those in there.
right? But it was like it looked like ribs.
Intercostal.
Like I could see like bone. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So
yeah.
to me, it looked like he
Ugh.
was a little maybe
Sickly, like
a little over dehydrated, but it didn't look like it in his face. You know what I mean?
Huh.
So after you make weight, you're allowed to hydrate, eat your meal, do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Crawford looked just comfortable. And that's what I thought was I noticed about the Lopez fight when we watched that one and their weigh in. Lomachenko looked like he walked around at that weight,
Mm-hmm.
and Lopez was looked like he had to make that weight. So it was naturally going to be bigger. And sometimes I don't think.
It seems like the guys that have to like work hard to try to make weight, like wouldn't you be exhausted by trying to like depleting your body of nutrients, and now you're like exhausted?
Well, it either hurt
even
you.
though you eat like a big meal or whatever, and you plump back up overnight, still,
Yeah.
wouldn't you be weighed down by that big ass meal because you're so used to not eating because you just try to make weight?
Yeah,
Like,
it's either going to hurt you or help you, because
Mhm.
if it helped you, you got to fight for the belt and you beat the guy that was lighter than you or heavier than you, whatever.
yeah.
Then you win the money and you become the star.
Right.
Or it hurts you. You got too dehydrated. You couldn't rejuvenate
You're
enough, and
dizzy,
you
you're
get beat up in the
sick,
fight after one
yeah,
round,
Yeah.
and you're done.
Weak, slow. You
Yeah.
know?
But yeah, I've seen fighters cut weight crazy. Just like there's a lot of videos on YouTube and stuff like that,
Mhm.
like other social medias where people show clips of that stuff, and I just don't think it's fair. And I think they're going to set a new rule limit on what your hydration weight can be, because some fighters would do
Really?
some crazy weight drops, and they would come into the fight so much heavier. It's an advantage for the heavier fighter, because the punches are going to hurt. They're going to do more damage as the fight goes on, or they're going to
Yeah.
stop you earlier, and it's a disadvantage for the guy who was lighter.
Oh.
And so it almost looked like that when the Lopez guy was fighting Lomachenko. Lopez almost looked too big for Lomachenko, if you ask me. I thought he looked too big. Like, he was
Mhm.
punching through the combinations that would normally he would stop other opponents in his normal weight class.
Mm.
But Lopez went down to fight him. And so and like McGregor too, even in like UFC, McGregor would go down to fight in 150, but he walks around at 170 and close to 180.
Damn.
And so he
That's
would
a
drop
big
that weight
difference.
and then come in the ring almost like a light heavyweight, and beat your ass at the 150, beat the 150 guy.
Wow.
And same thing with boxing, Canelo.
Yeah, I don't think that's healthy for you to be like trying to lose that kind of weight so fast, you
Mhm.
know, when it's not your natural body weight,
Right.
you know.
And even like Canelo,
30 pounds? Damn. That's
Yeah,
a lot.
it's around there. Canelo's the same way. Canelo fights around the 147 range, and he walks around 170, 180. People say he's like a light heavyweight, so much like he's just a short,
Canelo?
heavy guy. Yeah, they say.
Cinnamon?
Yeah.
No way.
So they say that he does the same thing, and now they're trying to set a limit on like your hydration in fights. That way you're not too much at advantage or a disadvantage when it comes to those they call them catch weights now. Like say you can't like you're a little too big and still you want to fight them like Pacquiao and Mayweather used to do these with guys like cuz people wanted to pay big money for them to fight these bigger guys or whatever. Say like, "Okay, well, if I can't make all of your weight, you can't make all of my weight. Let's meet in the middle," and it's called a catch weight. So they'll give you like a little window of the weight you have to be in to fight each other.
Okay.
And so those, that's what started happening just because of the desire to see fights, and that part's kind of like disappearing.
Yeah.
So, but I'm also glad that they are happy. It's because they're doing more like while they're in their prime.
Right.
But tonight's going to be a good fight, and there's another one coming up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's a good time for boxing because I think they are throwing those fights out there.
Yeah, and it's cool. We can watch it at home on TV.
Yeah, and
I like
speaking of McGregor, there's rumor of him fighting Pacquiao.
What?
I don't know if
No
it's
way.
true, but I heard that.
That'd be
I heard
crazy.
that. So I know Pacquiao could do it. For the big paycheck.
That'd
But
be crazy.
I thought
Isn't there a big age difference there?
not really, not really,
Mm.
but there's a lot of skill difference. That's for sure. So like
Yeah.
a lot of people were fooled by the public when they saw the fight with Mayweather, and they were like, he did pretty good. He did pretty good, but I kind of feel Mayweather never fights that way. He's a real defensive fighter. Mayweather was going through, pushing pressure on him, making Conor get tired.
He's the flashy one. Got to be loud. Got to be heard.
But he fought differently with that fight just to prove that, he had no respect for that, style. But he kind of carried him, if you ask me. A lot of people say the same thing. A lot of people say no, McGregor did good. I mean, I thought he did great. I mean, I think McGregor needs a couple years with straight boxing to be a little better
he's
technique.
what, more UFC, right? MMA, like mixed martial
Yeah,
arts?
I mean, he looked pretty good in his training and he did pretty like he was learning the boxing game, but I just thought he needed a little more, maybe a couple fights before giving Mayweather a fight because he had like no technique, and then you're going to go against a guy who's all technique.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just crazy to me. But if he's going to fight somebody like Pacquiao, it's way different than Mayweather. Like Pacquiao's not the guy that's going to mess around and see what you can do and all that. Pacquiao's going to come at you with 100 combinations and punch you and hurt your face in.
Pacquiao just seems so compact and fast as heck.
But I'm just saying, like
he's so fast.
If McGregor takes those long misses and stuff like that, and Pacquiao fights the way if Pacquiao's like, this is a real fight, he's gonna fuck Mayweather up like really fast. It's not gonna go 10 rounds, unless Pacquiao does his little compassion shit. But I don't even think McGregor could handle Pacquiao's power. I think he would probably fall early because, man,
is he taller though? He's got to be taller than him.
Yeah, he'll be bigger.
I mean, so he's got that on him.
He'll be bigger for sure, but that doesn't matter. Pacquiao's fought bigger guys all the time. I think his biggest guy.
Yeah, but when you kind of tower over somebody, you're like in an advantage. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think the biggest guy Pacquiao's ever fought was Margarito, and Margarito in the weigh-in came in like 22 pounds heavier than Pacquiao, and Pacquiao like shoe-shined him for all 12 rounds. He demolished him, and they say he like retired for a while because he broke like orbital bones and like face bones and like bones in his face.
Ouch.
And I remember like, cause I never watched Pacquiao from the beginning. I gave up on boxing after a while because like it seemed like I was waiting for another like big name to wow me over. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was the fight before the Margarito fight is what got me into like Pacquiao.
Yeah.
So I wasn't watching it for a while. I remember even telling you, like, nobody's really catching me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Mayweather was fighting. I was watching his fights and whatnot, but it was like, if you're not good, Mayweather's going to make a fight look boring if you're not up to his level to at least make it exciting because it's hard to hit him. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not a knock on him that you can't hit him. It's a knock on the other fighter. Like, you trained all this time and you can't hit the guy. It's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not good enough to hit the guy and make it exciting, like when Maidana did, like Maidana did it in the first fight. He was like fought dirty and got all rough and rowdy with Mayweather. And then the second fight, Maidana couldn't do shit to Mayweather. He was like, all right, you rough dude. He made it all boring again. But so it's just tough to do that with a guy like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I think
he tries to get into your head or people's head or the other opponent's head, by trying to be all flashy and aggressive and dominant and I'm gonna win, I'm gonna beat your ass or whatever.
well,
He tries to get up under your skin like that.
he does, but I mean, you can't hit the guy. It
I
is
mean,
hard to
that's
hit him.
what I don't like about it. I don't like about him. I don't like his. I don't like how he's.
Well, a lot of
arrogant.
people say he's not like that when it's not time to sell a fight. But when the cameras
Whatever.
get on him,
I don't know about
he
that.
turns into that guy. Because I watched Mayweather when he was before
yeah,
he was
I know.
Money Mayweather.
I know you know. Your,
So,
your
he was
about him, but
before he was Money Mayweather, he was Pretty Boy Floyd. And so he was a rough brawler. He was like not really like flashy, none of that. And this one fight he had, it got real dirty, and Mayweather didn't want to shake the guy's hand, didn't want to do this, so people started booing, doing all this shit because he won, and like showed a little disrespect. And from then on, he took over that persona. He's like, well, I guess somebody's got to be the bad guy.
I mean,
and
guess,
he started selling
but,
tickets, and he started making this money.
Yeah.
But everybody says he's not that. Even like Pacquiao.
I mean, he probably isn't. He probably isn't.
A lot of his opponents and even saying the same thing, that he's a really good dude, but when it's time to sell a fight, it's time to sell a fight. Same with McGregor. They say the same thing with him.
It's all show.
It's time to sell a fight. You gotta do those things.
Gotta be the jerk.
Right. And like when he fought Pacquiao, he didn't really talk much trash, because Pacquiao never really talked trash either. So it's like,
no, he's like the nice guy.
So him and Mayweather didn't really say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But they, in the ring they said something. He was showing them like, you can't hit me, whatever, and he did it there, but it didn't happen before the fight. Because they kind of respected each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said,
yeah,
it comes down to those
Interesting.
techniques. But I think Pacquiao would beat McGregor really fast. I don't see it going like 10 rounds like Mayweather did.
I don't know. He's younger and bigger. It'd be
But Manny's Manny,
I
dude.
wonder what their age difference is.
He just beat Keith Thurman.
Now that we're getting older, age can be a difference.
Okay, Manny was 42, 41, and beat Keith Thurman, who was in his prime.
Yeah, but we're talking about McGregor.
Yeah,
not him.
but this is a professional boxer who beat a professional boxer in his prime, going against a guy who fights a UFC fighter. Manny will beat his ass. Like, it'll be nasty. Manny will punch McGregor a lot. Manny punches
I believe
everybody
that Manny
a
is
lot.
fast. I don't have any doubt about that.
So, like, Mayweather was jabbing and poking at McGregor, and Manny throws like 10 punches at a time. Like, McGregor is not going to know. He's going to be hugging the shit out of Manny, because Manny's going to be like, everybody that fights Manny, they say there's 8 of them. Because he's got them tree trunk legs, and he just jumps around you like a fucking Cubert.
Manny.
It's like he'll throw 4 at you in front of you, jump to the left, 4 at you over there,
Yeah.
jump back to the right, 4 you over there, then he's behind you.
Phew, phew.
And then he'll do some stuff when he clowns you, like when he knows.
Yeah, he's little too, so he can move real fast.
So when he does like this thing, he'll frustrate guys, and he'll throw a double punch around their guard because they're blocking so much they're afraid to punch. McGregor will be that guy.
It would be interesting. I'd like to see that fight.
Yeah,
I would like to see that.
I think Mandy knocks him out pretty quick.
Okay.
Pretty quick.
Well,
Like when he
are they gonna
fought.
do it?
if it was me, I would
Are they
compare
gonna
it.
do it?
I think that fight would be compared to when he fought Cloudy. But I think it would end in a knockout. Cloudy just got punched over and over. Everybody thought he was too big for Manny, and Duty fucking beat the shit out of him. Every time the guy would try to punch, he would hit him. The announcer was like, "You want to come at me? Bang! You want to do this? Bang!" Like, the announcer was so into it, like, because the guy was so afraid to throw his hands.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's what would happen to McGregor. Once McGregor misses, he's gonna pay a price especially with Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
That dude's like lightning
Yeah, I would like to see that fight.
for sure.
That'd be a good one.
Oh yes. So, I know I didn't mean to bore you too much, honey, with all my fight talk, but what's some new shows you're watching? I know you were watching some show on Netflix, right? Some new series. So why don't you tell me about what you're watching?
So
Because I know you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good. I want to watch it again tonight sometime.
What's it called
hopefully.
again?
Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, Schitt's Creek. Like, you're up Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. So it starts out like I guess they're like a really wealthy family. It's a husband and wife and their 2 adult children.
Yeah.
And they're rich and of course like the children are like so like, spoiled rotten.
Can I say something?
What?
When I was watching that one episode with you, I was like, Why does it sound like they're all talking like they're in a play, and then you were explaining to me that they were super rich before where
Mhm.
they're at now, before they went
Mhm.
up Shit's Creek? No.
Yep. Literally,
Now is
pretty
their
much.
last name Shits?
No, that's the name of the town. But
Oh, the
but
town is Shits.
okay, so yeah.
The town's
So
called Shits.
I don't know what kind of money, I don't know what this guy did to be so wealthy, but they were rich and they lost their money. The financial dude who looked after their money
Uh huh.
scammed them. And so like now they're broke, and like all these people come in and taking their jewelries and their you know,
Yeah.
their fortunes. So um I guess somehow they luck out because the dad had bought this town called Schitt's Creek as
Yeah.
a joke. So that's where they can go and live.
And I thought it was funny when they showed the sign. It looked like a
Mhm.
guy, and the girl's bent over, and the guy's like behind her.
Yeah,
I
so
thought that was
apparently that's
hilarious.
a mayor's family member, supposed to
Yeah.
be the great grandfather.
And that guy's hilarious. He was in Cabin Boy and all that shit. He
Oh my
plays a
gosh,
lot of
that's
funny
that's the
characters.
guy. Remember in Scary,
Scary Movie.
and he's stirring the mashed potatoes. He's the butler at the old creepy mansion,
You remember
and he's
Cabin
serving
Boy?
them. Cabin Boy, which
It was
one's
like he was
that?
like in a solo film. It was like he was a pirate cabin boy. It was funny comedy, but
Oh,
yeah, in the Scary Movies too, he was
that's
there.
where I remember him from, stirring the mashed
He had a
potatoes.
little tiny
Ew,
hand.
he's so nasty.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
funny
so
movie.
but yeah, there's a they kind of it's funny. You'll notice
So
things.
he's the relative of the guy who owns the town.
So the guy with the hand from Scary Movie
Yeah.
is the mayor of this town.
Oh, he's the
And so
mayor.
it's his family's history is in this town. He loves the town. Schitt's Creek. That's the
Gotcha.
name of it. So the dad of this wealthy family who just became like bankrupt, lost all his money. He bought the town way back as a joke because of the name of it, you know.
Right.
So when they lost their money, their advisor, whoever said, "Okay, you can go live here. You own this town. You can go live here in this nasty ass motel, you know,
Huh.
because you have nothing else. So this is what you can do." So they're living there, and it's just funny. It's funny. I enjoy it. It's hilarious.
It was pretty funny what I was watching, but like I said, I had to get into it first because you had to explain that to me. Because for me, it felt like they were, the way I didn't understand. They were like, they used to be like bougie, super rich.
Yeah, bougie for sure.
But
Big time.
me, I was at the store.
Mhm.
I was grabbing some beer and stuff like that. The essentials, getting the essentials, and getting some
Need
beer.
that lately.
Yeah, getting some beer and sodas. And there was a magazine, National Geographic, which we have a nice collection of some old ones.
Yep.
There was a new one that really caught my eye, and I think I'm gonna have to pick it up.
Okay.
And I ended up finding it online. Got to look at it for free online, but I would like to add it to the collection.
All right.
This one was about paranormal stuff.
Ooh.
So it was a big
That
study where
struck
they
your
had a lot
eye,
of.
huh?
Oh man, it was awesome. So they had like a lot of scientists involved, a lot of experiments they were talking about,
Mhm.
old cases from not only just here from like the Amityvilles to like even before the Amityvilles and even all over the globe. There was like things in like other
Wow,
countries.
that's interesting. National Geographic
Yeah.
would have that series.
Yeah, and it was really cool. I want to add it to the
Interesting.
collection. I
Hmm.
definitely want to get this one. I couldn't stop looking at it once I found it online,
Mhm.
and I didn't think it has the whole issue online, but it was like a whole bunch of like segments of the magazine, and I want to get it. So like I said, once I was in line, I saw it. I got so intrigued because I'm
And if
into
my
that
dad
stuff.
was here, he would have gotten that one.
Yeah,
You know.
for sure.
Mhm.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Dad.
And so what brings me to that is you know how like those shows where they show those cool things. There was these new ones I found that were really really good. Like there were people that were like have their own like social media setups where they go into places like this for a living, or they go like not like the ones that are on TV. So these guys are like making it. They got a really big following just from like social media,
Uh-huh.
and so they go in these places and not only they carry like they catch this scary footage. This guy he was in Mexico, and so he had like a streaming channel, or I think it was his TikTok. That's what it was. He had a TikTok video, so he had a lot of followers, and things started happening around his house in Mexico. So he would tell everybody like, first he was doing videos like selfie videos, and people started seeing shit behind him. Then he started experiencing it, himself.
Mm.
So he's sitting there, and water's turning on. His shower keeps turning on,
Yee.
and so he opens the shower curtain. The shower turns on right in front of his face,
What?
and he's like shuts the water off. walks out of the room. He hears another noise, goes back to the shower, and you see this, like, when the camera moves really fast, you see this dark, shadowy figure, like, behind the shower curtain, a little piece of it. You know what I'm saying? They have to slow the
What?
footage down because
Oh my
in real
gosh.
time, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you see it in slow motion, this, like, shadowy figure, like, just move out of the way. And he runs
Mm-mm.
over, and the shower turns on again. He runs and pulls the the curtain open. Nobody's in the shower, and the water's running. He shuts the shower off, and then right next to him is the sink where you'd wash your hands, and then the sink water turns on.
Oh my goodness.
And he's all like really paranoid, and people like that are watching and following,
Mm.
and it was really creepy. It was just
Yeah,
super, super,
That'd
super,
freak
super
me
creepy.
out. That would freak me out. I would want to move.
And I guess there's a restaurant that recently was there. There was people all at a restaurant. It's on their like surveillance footage and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a woman at a table by herself. Her husband, I think he goes to the restroom, and then they're like finishing up about
Is
to
this
pay
a
their tab.
well-known haunted restaurant?
That I don't think so. I think it was some chain. I don't forget what state this one was in.
Mm.
And it looks like it's summertime. They're in like real night. They're in shorts and stuff.
Outside or?
It's an inside place.
Okay.
And then you see the husband walk away. The
Mhm.
wife's sitting there. She looks to her right, just looking around the atmosphere. See other people doing what they do at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Then her glass just slides over across her table, like right in front of her purse, like shoosh, and the lady gets scared. And then it moves again, and she gets up and like
What?
runs away from her table
Oh
at this
my
restaurant.
gosh. Creepy.
Really
That's
creepy.
What would you do?
I would get up too and run away. I'd pay my bill and stuff, but I wouldn't go
I'd be
to
like,
the
what
table.
in the world?
I would not go back to that table first.
I'd be like, okay, it's time to go.
For real.
Interesting. Let's
Oh.
go.
Have you ever seen those ones where they have them like creepy dolls? Like those
Ugh.
ghosts?
Yeah.
Because there's this one I seen also, which is pretty new. I recommend you guys check it out because I have fun, going down those rabbit holes with those. Yeah. It's a guy who, they have like a piñata company. They make piñatas, another Mexico one.
Mm.
Another one in Mexico, man.
What's
and,
up with that?
Yeah, orale, it's scary as hell.
Ooh-wee. What's up with that?
Yeah, so he makes piñatas, and they have this company, and so there's just like surveillance going on, and you see these ones on the string start spinning around really fast, like at nighttime when
Oh.
nobody's there. It's like, ooh, whatever. That could be explained maybe if the
Maybe
heat turns on.
wind or
Something.
I don't know.
But this one turns up. It's really creepy. It looks really fake, but it's so creepy even if it is fake.
Mm-hmm.
This one weird piñata just like pops out on the security footage, like out of the other ones that nobody ever made. Like this weird girl one just pops up, and you see it on the security camera come up.
Yikes.
Like E.T. blended in with the stuffed animal type shit. She just like pops up this girl one.
Ew.
So it's a girl, and she's got brown hair, and she's sitting with her arms out.
It's a piñata?
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
So they,
Of a girl?
yeah, it's a little girl piñata.
Like a Dora the Explorer?
Yeah,
or-
something like that, but it wasn't
Oh.
like a recognized. They have all these little boys and like all these little piñatas made, like
Ew,
just little
kinda
weird characters.
Weird.
Yeah, so she's like this. She sits like this, and she's all creepy, and they would put her away from all the other ones with candles by it, and every time they would come in, she would be in another place.
Why wouldn't they just like burn it or chop it up or
Yeah.
break it? Fill it
Well-
with candy and break it.
They also got another person, like a priest or something like that, to come in there and bless the rooms and stuff. And they started keeping it in a room with a door closed
Mm-hmm.
with the candles on. And they would put it in a room, and every time they'd open the door, it'd be in another place in the room.
Oh my goodness.
And the guy opens it in a video, and you see him walk in. He's like, "Oh!" And he walks out real scared, and they're like the
Ew.
doll's like in a different spot.
yeah,
Like,
no.
oh my gosh!
Nope.
'Cause, well, they say like
Uh-uh.
in some of those stories, they say if you burn the object, it could release it for good, or it could release it and get into another object, possibly you,
Ew.
because you're closest. You know what I'm saying?
No. I don't know. What would you do? Just bury it. Bury
my
it.
gosh.
Bury it.
You never
Yeah.
know, especially after watching like
Bury
Annabelle.
it
You
somewhere.
don't know what
yeah,
to
I
do.
know.
Start watching that
Call a
that miss me shit,
priest.
white written on your walls and whatnot.
No. Fuck all that. No way. No, thank you.
So yeah, I thought those were some creepy videos. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So, a lot of you out there that watch a lot of the podcasts out there and stuff like that know that there was some heat going on with like the D'Elias and the Callens and some other comedians out there for like some serious allegations against them. And recently, some of them guys are they're hurting from it. Some things are happening and stuff like that. And some of the stories are coming out. Some more allegations are coming out. Some of the court stuff's coming out. And so it's getting pretty serious. It's starting to get real deal. You know, and anyways, so you haven't heard much things break out recently, or you haven't heard a lot of things from it because they're trying to lay low and trying to still make some money at the same time. But I was watching a episode of the Stevie Weeby episode, Bobby Lee's brother, and he had a comedian on there who goes by the name of Vanessa Johnson, and she kind of ratted these guys out, or kind of put it out there and spilled all this dirty, kind of spilled the beans on these guys. Shout out to Spill the Beans, by the way. Um, but I think it was kind of crazy. Like, she was trying to like spill dirt on dudes or whatever. She said like the meet and greets after stand ups were like casting calls. And that they would, that she would do the same thing. Like, they would see who basically they would do a meet and greet with you, and that's how they would pick who they're going to have sex with that night. And I was like, damn, that was like, that was probably something that those guys didn't want out there, and she just kind of threw it out there. You even heard some producer from the background, even make a comment, and they were like, can we talk about this? Can we talk about this? And they were all like a little hesitant, and then she went with it. And, that's probably not good for those guys. Probably not good at all. After all that stuff that's going on with them. So you guys can look it up. Like I said, it was a Stevie Weeby episode with Vanessa Johnson, comedian, and she kind of kept it real. She kind of went with it and just said what it is. She was like, all the meet and greets with them guys just trying to look for the booty call, and if the girl was cute enough or whatever, they'd go up to her and say, "Hey, I'm at this hotel. Here's the hotel room, and yada yada. Be here at this time." And either they were there, they didn't. They'd probably have backup plans anyways. And she was just said it like it was nothing. And I was like, for all them court cases and all them allegations going against them dudes, this was not cool. And then she brought up Theo Vaughn. She even said his name in that group, and then she took his name. She retracted his name again. Like, she retracted it right back. She was like, and Theo Vaughn, and then she goes, well, I don't know about Theo, but then she started naming the other dudes. Like, these guys right here would just be like, yep, I like you, I like you, I like you, and like that's how they would pick their women. That's pretty nuts. I mean, that's kind of sucky for you guys with all that shit going on you. That just doesn't look good. Doesn't look good with all the allegations y'all got going on. Might bring some unwanted temperatures, some little unwanted heat that you don't need, if you ask me. So, there's all this craziness going on. There's people protesting the election. There's people supporting the election. There's people, doing what they do, doing whatever they're doing. There's a lot of crazy times going on, trying to make the best of this situation we got going on. And I just hope you guys know, like, we will get through this. There will be some better times. There is good times ahead. I just don't know when they're coming, but I know we're going to get through all this madness, and we will have some sense of normality back that we used to all have. We just got to have a little more patience, because in my opinion, I feel like they want us to overreact and act wild, like we can't control ourselves, so they can take the steering wheel from us. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just show that we can control ourselves and be patient and get through this stuff. That way we can still have the car keys and drive our own cars, or else, them guys take too much control, or the one people get in charge of too many things. Could be bad for everybody. So I'm kind of ready for all this, whatever they're doing, to be over. Let's get the new person in, or if the person didn't win, let's keep the guy in. Let's let them get ready for the next time, and let's just get it over with, man. This is just stupid. Let's try to depower some of that media, because the media drives all this madness, all this crazy, all this circus down a crazy spiraling rabbit hole of chaos. And y'all can't fact check it all you want, because have you ever heard anything good on the news other than like the weather, which isn't even accurate all the time any damn way? You know what I'm saying? It's like, There's just always bad news on the weather. I mean, bad news on the weather. Our weather. No. There's always bad news on the news sometimes. Around my ways, our news channels are never really anything positive at all. It's like rare. It's like a rare thing they'll pull up maybe once every few months. There'll be something funny on the news. But I'm sure there's a lot of positive stuff going on. They just won't show it. So I just don't agree with the media-driven chaos, and I believe we should. That's what we should be trying to cancel, or all those people that are trying to cancel and do all that, or whatever they're trying to do out there, should go after this media-driven madness, because those guys got a little bit too much pull lately, as of lately, and I think they need to be a little reality check. People need to slow some of them guys down. Let them pick a new lane on the freeway, because they're in the fast lane right now. They need to put them over where the big trucks go. You know what I'm saying? Let them slow down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Do a little below the minimum speed limit. And let everybody like us get on the fast lane and go on. Because they're getting a little bit too much control. If you ask me. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you did, hit me with a like and subscription. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget, you can catch them every Wednesdays and Saturdays. And this has been another episode of Meant to Vent. Till next time, humans. See ya.